Yeshua didn't come to die. I don't know of the Jesus they are talking about, but the one I know, he came to lead the people back to themselves. Elsia, how do you know that? He says, go. Whosoever shall believe, these signs shall follow them. You shall lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. He was not saying pray to God. He was pointing the people back to himself. The Jesus I'm talking about, the one that I know, when he came, he was always challenging religion. He was challenging. Religion said, don't heal somebody on the Sabbath day. Then Jesus will heal the person. How do you tell me this person came for them? Or he was with them. When Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, that was old English. He wasn't saying, worship me to go to the Father. I am the way. Like the way today, we don't say, verily, verily, I say unto you. It's old English. So when he said, I am the way, he had a life he was living. He said, look at this life. This is the way to the God ability inside of you, to the Father. And then that was where he was telling them that when you see me, you have seen the Father.
You are watching the biggest, the largest, the highest, the greatest, the tallest, and the mightiest world platform. Today I'm looking penge. I think I'm happy. I don't know about this episode, but my vibrations are different. I can feel it within my system that I'm going to hear something new. Honestly, I don't know, but I love the guest already. My first time meeting him though, but the first time I'm hugging somebody before the show starts. The first time, and see that. I just hugged him. I think I love him already. I don't know. Don't disgrace me. Oh. I welcome you people with lots of love. We love love and we hate hate because we understand the word cause and effect. I welcome you people to your platform. I'm always La Braska, the sun goddess. Call me the spear of destiny. I am the finest African spiritual visionary. Yes, I'm pure African, with the spirit of Africa boiling inside of me for liberation. That's what I do here. I have lots of love for my continent. I'll do anything for Africa because this is where I belong. It is my continent, my spirit, every being, everything that is within me comes from here. So I care about the land. I welcome you people to another episode. Let's welcome the guest, Elsia, and then see what happens today. Papa, I welcome you to Revelations.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here with you.
Great. Today is your first time on this biggest platform.
Right.
I think it's because of the way you've dressed. That's why I am loving you already. But we will get there later.
Right.
Just introduce yourself to the public.
Right.
Tell us who you are, what kind of a thing you are. And then if there are any loved ones you want to share love, send love to, is equally allowed. You send love to them, my people. And then after we see what happens.
Right. So my name is the Elsia, and I am the return of the gods who never left, but only lost their memory. The gods who shifted form, but now are remembering who they are. And I come from the 12th and the 13th dimension, in between that place where the Vesica Pisces is. That name, the name is called the Elvata realm. And I'm here so that you remember who you are. My name is the Elsia.
Whoa, welcome. I welcome you like I welcome you. People tell us they are reincarnated. They don't know where they came from, but they know they are here. But for you, you are telling us who you are, your origin, your location. In fact, do you know your bloodline? Tell us. We want to know whether you are there fully nyanya, because you've given us what we need to know, so we know who you are. People are saying, I'm reincarnated. Ufrihi, lau. When how many years? Lau.
Right.
So explain all these things to us.
Right. So I am a descendant of the AEONS, where Yeshua HaMashiach comes from. So that is where I come from. That is the descendant. So the Elvata realm is where the Vesica Pisces is. And you know that the Vesica Pisces is two circles intersecting, and the middle is where we create timeline. So this particular timeline of this whole earth ascending into the 5D right now, we created from the Elvata realm. And so I'm a descendant of the AEONS.
Okay, how do you know? How did you came about all this information about yourself?
Right. So this is 2009. I was sitting in a room around La Paz, And then it was as if something entered into my room. And then when the thing entered into my room, I couldn't move my body. I couldn't do anything. All what I realized was that another side of me was standing like that, dressed like this. Not with this one, but this thing like that. And he asked me whether you are ready to take on your higher self. So I started healing people, doing miracles, those like wonderful things from 2009. I don't know if I've answered your question though.
Are you done?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I've answered your
Okay,
question.
so when that happened, you know
Okay.
something has visited you,
Right.
or
Right.
because the thing was straightforward to you that
Right.
your higher self.
Yeah.
So you accepted your higher self.
Right.
We want to know how you got through to your dimension,
Right.
your points,
Right.
your shiftings, your
Right.
timelines. We
Right.
want to know all
Right.
these things.
Right.
I use these words a lot. So
Right.
now that you are here talking about it, I would want the public to know what I always meant when I mentioned those words.
So as we already know, what happens is that sometimes when you have these encounters, it starts with a journey. It's like it comes to guide you to merge, because that particular self of yours, that higher self of yours, is already on a particular timeline. And so from there, I started with religion, I started singing. I realized that I love to sing in church. So I started singing a cappella. I joined the Psalms a cappella group. Later on, went into music fully with instruments. And then 2019. And before that, before the 2019, I was already like working the miracles, but it wasn't in the public space. They only knew me as a musician. But then 2019, before 2019, 2018 is when everything crashed for me. I lost everything I had. Where I was staying got bent. I was actually singing in church when I had the call that your place is burning. All right. So I lost everything, and that really broke me down. The whole of 2018, from the month of March, the whole of 2018, I didn't have a place to sleep. I was sometimes sleeping in the church, have to purge. And all that time, I didn't know that was part of my signing in my soul contract, that is what will break me for me to start my journey of understanding who I really am. All right. So the whole of 2018 was a difficult time for me. What to eat was a problem. But when we entered into 2019, I found out that not knowing everything I was looking for outside was already inside of me. It's when I started meditating. Immediately I started meditating, I started remembering a lot of things. You see, what I talk about, there is nothing more deeper than what I have gone. Why? Because what I speak about, they are the actual fabric. When you understand it, you weave life from that perspective. Even before witches and wizards come in, witches and wizards, we know they are on a very low side, all right? But then, what I talk about, they are the actual fabric that weave your life even before the witches and wizards come in, because the witches and wizards, they are on a low vibration, and the vehicles to their realm is the unforgiveness and all those things. So 2019 was when I started, and that marked a 7-year journey for me from 2019 to 2025. My life path number is 7. I'm a Scorpio. All right. So that is why I know that is why you love me. All right. Now, so from that time, so 2025 is another 7 years. And that was where Source told me that every 7 year of your life, you have to crash your timeline and create a new one because of where you come from. So that is it.
That is normal. Every 7 years, you crash timelines.
Oh, okay, you know.
And change characteristics.
Oh, wow.
That's cosmic.
Wow.
Oh,
okay.
But right now, what you are saying, I want to understand something here, because you are saying that when you get the materials or the tools or the accoutrements, you weave a life out of it.
Yes.
And that is when even witches cannot come into it.
Yes, please.
So if that is the case, then why were you down? Why did you lose everything like Yahweh style?
Okay.
Why?
Yes.
What happened? What brought about that? What do you think was the cause of your losses? What do you think was the cause of your losses?
You see, the truth of the matter is that no matter how beautiful your car is, whether it's a Range Rover, whether it is Rolls Royce or whatever car it is, the very moment the car is in misalignment, you're going to crash the car. Right. So all my life, I wasn't walking in alignment to who I truly came here to be or what I am supposed to be. And so that was why my life was crashing. And even now, there are still people who are dealing with that. It was simply, for me, it was simply misalignment. Why? Because immediately I aligned myself very well. I remembered that this is actually my fifth time coming here. And I know you asked me questions on that. Because the last time I came, I appeared at Egypt. And then the next one is Ghana.
Right now,
Right.
explain to me when you say you came from where Yeshua HaMashiach came from. Who is that?
Right.
And how do you connect? Like how? Can you give us a little background?
Right. So Yeshua HaMashiach comes from the descendants of the AEONS. You know, earlier on I said that these AEONS emanated from source. Source, look at source as a place, not like a one person or a being. It's a place. And these, after a long time, there were these beings that came out of him. This, I'm using him for wanting of a better word. So these eons came from him and started creating galaxies and other stuff. And that is where Yeshua comes from. Now, many people think that Yeshua is coming from the God of the Bible, but that is not where he's coming from. He came actually to rebel against whatever they knew. And I don't know if I should still continue to on that.
We want explanation.
Right.
Came to rebel against
Right.
who knows?
Right. So before he came, there were already people who were worshiping a God that masqueraded himself as a God of love. But when you check through the scripts, even in the Old Testament, you notice that this God that we are saying is a God of love, we saw most of the times where we saw a problem with his kind of love and wrath. All right. So now, Yeshua coming from the source realm, which is the descendants of the eons, he came to guide us back to ourselves. Why? Because there was a distortion. You see, I keep saying that the Bible is 80% truth and 20% distortion. Why? Because it's supposed to be coded so that those of you who open the script with your spirits are the ones who understand it. So when Yeshua came, he came as a guide to guide us back to ourselves. How do we prove that? We prove that by one of the scriptures when he said that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, not shall pray very well to a God outside of him. It was all about you. So Yeshua came to point us back to ourselves. That is why I said he didn't come from the God of the Bible, but actually that was why the Pharisees were the ones against him. I don't know if I've answered you on that.
You've answered me, but you coming from them was what you were actually explaining before you.
Right, that's okay. And before we continue, this is it. I am infinite wisdom. I am all-knowing like you are. You know that the very moment you tap in, you are all-knowing. Now, because of that, I flip through a lot of scrolls when I'm asked a question. So this is what happened. Sometimes when there is a little distraction, I leave that scroll. So immediately you remind me what we were talking about. I'll pick it up as if we never left it. Now, so this is where I come in. So from the time Yeshua came, he came to lead us back to ourselves. So for example, he saw that we were in bondage, and then he came to release us. But the problem here is that when he left, the system that feared how humanity could become when they fully remember who they are, that they never needed a God outside of them, they started twisting his message. When Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, that was old English. He wasn't saying, worship me to go to the Father. I am the way. Like the way today, we don't say, verily, verily, I say unto you. It's old English. So when he said, I am the way, he had a life he was living. He said, look at this life. This is the way to the God ability inside of you, to the Father. And then that was where he was telling them that when you see me, you have seen the Father. So me, as Elsia, from that time Yeshua came, and then gave what we were supposed to walk by to fully awaken to our true potentials and the God we were before we lost our memory. After that very long time, they twisted his words. And now they turned him to become the chain he came to losing. So from there, a group of gods decided to descend again. And those are the gods that I am part of. They decided to descend. But the problem here is that this realm, which is the third dimension, the more you descend, the more you lose your memory of who you are. And so in all the dimensions in this world, in all the galaxies, they know of the third dimension. So a group of gods, which I am part of, decided to descend in this time to guide the people back to themselves, to leave religion and the system.
How many are you?
We are many out there. You are one of them, you know.
I'm not part. You are watching the biggest and the largest. This is just the randoms. We wanted to know who he actually is. And Sana Yababe shared the main thing. So right now, what do you call yourself? What do you think you are in the eyes of humans?
The return.
You feel you are the return?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You see, there is a cosmic change that will take place where humans will return back to ancient. A lot of people have already taken the lead. Many people have taken the lead. But you see, that cosmic change that will happen, they never thought it was going to happen in Africa. You understand that? But the group that joined this particular dispensation or this timeline, especially like me, I wasn't supposed to join this timeline. We entered because the earth has to ascend at this particular time. You understand that?
I have done an episode about that.
Oh, wow.
Like about 2 years ago.
Wow.
Wow. The earth shifting from this place
Wow.
and how it was going to happen. Anyways, so your topic is why are we here on earth? So right now, what we want to know what you are, because we've had a lot of people who came here that they are historians. At the end of the day, they became this, and they are teachers. Tomorrow they are this. So we want to establish who you are right now. If people should see you outside, are you a prophet? Are you a voodoo, Shintoist? What are you?
Right. The highest form of ascension is when you become everything and nothing at the same time. When people point hands at me, I tell them it's not about me. I returned so that they will remember. So when you see me, just see me as the return of the gods Jesus spoke about. Yeshua spoke about the gods who were spoken about in Psalm 82. When he said in John 10:30, I and my Father are one, they picked the stones and they wanted to stone him. And he asked them, is it not written in your law that ye are gods? Which gods were they? They had shifted form. They never left. So I am the return. I don't want any title. I don't want to be known by anything because I am everything and nothing at the same time.
So what do you do now to people? According to you, started doing miracles. So now what do you do?
I still do what I do. I do miracles. I lead people into different dispensations. So
what do you mean by you do miracle and lead people to different dispensations?
Right. So this is what I mean. My core purpose here is to help the people who have forgotten who they were, the gods, who have lost their memory, return back. So there are those people, there are some who come to me with traumas, they have their issues, things they have dealt with, they are dealing with. I travel back in time with them. Some want to go back in past times to check what they were doing before they left, because actually we are actually continuing what we left, what we were doing. So I do time traveling for people. Yeah.
How do you do that? What is the process?
So I use neural beats and frequencies.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. We plug it. I connect.
Know we've spoken about it.
Oh, wow. Right. Yeah. That's good. Wow.
You are watching the biggest and the largest. Okay. Your topic is why are we here on earth? I'll ask you a question later, but let's address your topic.
Right.
When you say earth, what is earth? Explain that word, then you tell us why we are here on earth.
Right. Okay. So when we say earth, earth is density, form, a place where there is form, where you can touch, you can feel. That is what is earth. Now there are a lot of dimensions. I don't know if I should still continue with that.
Go ahead.
Right.
It's your show.
Right. So there are a lot of dimensions. Some people know to 12 dimensions because they are infinite. Some also know to 15. The third dimension, which is the 3D, where we are, which is the earth. This is where form is. This is where there is delayance. This is where there is tomorrow. Because beyond those realms, everything is happening in the now. This is where you can be in the third dimension, which is earth, and still experience the present now when you are in the 5D realm. I mean, when you are practicing stillness. So earth is simply density, where this body, became slow, because this, when you look at it on this rawless form, raw form, it's light. This is a slowed down version of light, and it's scientifically proven. So earth is density, earth is form, earth is physicality, where we can experience reality, what we call delay, because in the other dimensions, you think it and it's there. You don't, yeah.
So why are we here? That's your topic.
Right. Thank you. I must say that I am honored to be here with you, and I really appreciate you. All right. So before the beginning of the Bible, which is Genesis, because Genesis is not the starting of the creation. Genesis chapter 1, God created the heaven and the earth. Then you come to verse 2, the earth was formless. It doesn't happen like that. The verse 1 from Genesis chapter 1 and 2 was so many years, even millennia, so many years. Then the verse 2 came. So how do we know that? How can something be created and then becomes formless automatically? So when you go on, you notice why the Bible says that, and the earth was without form and void. Darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of the Lord moved over the face of the waters. There we know that water was already created. So that we confirm that that is not the beginning of the world. So what is the beginning? Now, Genesis chapter 1, the earth, God created the heavens and the earth, full stop. Now, in that timeline, when you look through that timeline, that is where you see that there were beings before Adam. There were beings operating on earth. And when you look at the script, Ezekiel chapter 28 even confirms that the being Lucifer was having merchandise with some other kings and beings. So we know that there were beings, but not in the form of the kind of beings who created human beings. Right. Now, so having said all these things, something happened it was a cosmic war that took place between what we call Lucifer and then the being that created him. Now, we as humans came in later. Why? Because after a very long time, when the war took place and everything was scattered, the earth was destroyed. That is where Genesis chapter 2 comes in. And then God said, let there be light. Before he said, let there be light, before the dissolution or the destruction, there were lights and everything. Long story short, fast forward, human beings came into the thoughts of the Elohims. Now, when the Bible said in Genesis, let us make man, it was not one person. When you check the Hebrew, it is Elohim. It means a group of gods coming together to make human beings. For what purpose? Several reasons. You see, the devil was dealing with merchandise. Satan, or Lucifer, as we may call it. Merchandise means goods, business, and services. What were they trading? They were trading energies and frequencies. They were trading divine knowledge. That was what they were trading. And because of that, he was corrupted. As Ezekiel chapter 28 says, now after a long time, they decided to create a being just like them. Why? Because the devil, which is Lucifer, that being, had a lot of things. When you look at Ezekiel again, it states very well what he was created with, how he was in Eden. He was the one having all the beautiful stuff, but still he wanted to be like, his master. So he said, let us create beings like us and let them have a place and let them rule. That is the first thing. But behind it was a thought of where human beings were created to serve these gods with their energies. You understand that? So now, these are the first group of human beings who were created. These gods came together and formed the human beings from the dust of the ground. And when they were done, they couldn't power it. And that is where the problem started from. Because the source energy that they were supposed to have to power the human being, they couldn't do that. So now that is where Sophia comes in. Sophia is part of the AEONS who came out of source realm. And she was the one that created the whole beings who started creating things on their own in the 3D. Now, so Sophia came to breathe into the nostrils of the man that they have created. And then the man became. But what was the problem was that they found out that the man was not listening to them. The man already knew what it was. This is where they tried him by bringing animals to him to see what he would name them. And every name he gave, that was it. So the Garden of Eden was actually like a prison for this first group of human beings. Yes, the Garden of Eden was not a place where beautiful. It was actually a prison to monitor the human being, because the human being knew on default, like how everybody, when you fully remember who you are, you notice that you never needed anybody outside of you. You notice that you are infinite knowledge. Now, so these were the first group. Now, because they were sacked from the garden after whatever happens, long story short, they started giving birth and then reproducing their own kind. But this time around, they were doing it through suffering and striving. So they gave birth, and the children that came from them already were operating on low vibration. And this is where the other second group of gods who decided to come and help humans ascend or come to the high vibration. The problem here is that these beings came and then they also lost their memory and they couldn't remember. This is why they loop it, they reincarnate, they reincarnate, they reincarnate. Now, this is my 5th time coming. And this is the last group who had come to lead the people back to the gods they were before they lost their memory. So the second group were those who also decided to come and awake human beings. Why? Because we have different stargates. Anything that happens in a particular stargate affects all the other stargates. So the stargate of the 3rd dimension, anything that happens when it goes down in low vibration and it gets destroyed, it affects all the other stargates. This is why these beings decide to be part, decide to help. So sometimes they operate by thoughts. They're speaking to you, they are guiding you because they need to help you. They cannot interfere. So the last group, which is us, we came so that they will remember who they are.
So in like Nekrakrano, why are we here?
Okay.
Because you are here to help others to
Yes.
ascend,
Yes.
according to you.
Yes.
What about the rest?
Yes. So that is what I was explaining, that there are beings, there are people who are stuck here and they don't know why they came here. You see?
So those are the ones you people are here to help.
Yes.
So how are you helping?
You see, when I speak, like you're going to post this video, there are people that will be arrested by hearing my voice because I do not speak to ears, I speak to cells. The very moment what I say resonates with you, it means you are part of those who are supposed to wake up by me.
This is very, very simple. If you feel this platform is not for you,
right,
it is not for you.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean we should bring people that you like.
Right.
Obia waha to get through to his people. Same as Mama G. So you see why everybody should be allowed.
Exactly.
Respect everybody, small, young. Yes, I watch a quote. No, you don't know.
Wow.
You don't know who is who. The reason you have to respect everybody's opinion, that's what I do here. That is why I am the mother of all spiritual platforms.
That's right.
Everybody is welcome. You are watching the biggest and the largest. Now, break this thing down. So those your voice will arrest. After your voice arresting them from this platform, have you done this anywhere?
I said, this is my first interview.
This is your very first
interview. My very first interview.
This is what we do. We keep revealing new teachers.
Right.
Those who have work to do, we keep revealing them on this platform. I give you, the viewer, new lessons every day. Whether you hate us or love us, we still touch base with you. That is why this platform is run by love.
Right.
And we give the platforms, the rest of the platform also, new guests every day. Because until we bring them, they don't get anything. I welcome you once again, and I pray you are able to stabilize after the interview.
Right.
Revelations platform will always give you that fame. It will raise you, no matter how huge you are, it will add up. That's what the platform represents.
Right.
So when the people start coming, hold your belt.
Right.
Because at the moment you start sending your smells out, remember, it will attract your kind and it will attract haters as well.
Right.
It will attract those who don't want to hear that word. So I give this advice to you, small,
right.
so you hold your bet. Me, I'm here to push everybody.
Right.
And when you start going, you are on your own.
Right.
The biggest and the largest. So right now, when you speak and your voice arrests the people, they get through to you. What next?
Right.
What do you do with them?
Okay. So this is what I do every day. How did I get these people? I got them through TikTok. And TikTok, as we see it, we know what it is. I mean, social media as a whole, we know what it is. It's a place where energies are harvested. People are moving through timelines by scrolling. So what I do is that I am always on their timeline. Anytime they think about me, they open and they see me. So every day I am guiding them not by muscle, but by touch. So anytime they see me, most of the times you go to my comment sections, they are saying that I always come here to check on your video. So this is how I guide them. Again, we have what we call the source talk on YouTube that we do. All right. So
okay, we'll get there.
Right.
So you get through to people through
Right.
social media.
Right.
Okay. Right now, you looking at social media, because you said social media and you mentioned TikTok. Let's use where you mentioned. Looking at TikTok. If people get through to your timeline and you get through to others' timeline, then most definitely you get through to all timelines.
Right.
Because at the moment you flip, pick another timeline, you flip, pick, you scroll, pick, you are in another dimension.
Right.
So you also get through to other dimensions. So let me ask this question. Looking at social media and all these people you see there awakening, this one they use a lot, vibrations, frequencies. There's another word they also use, enlightenment.
Right.
You hear it and you see a whole lot. You said you help people travel timeline. I feel flipping phones is just like that.
Right, of course.
But when you use the word, it becomes big in people's ears. We hear all sorts of things, projection, this, that. You looking at it. 5 things that scares you when you see them on social media, like, hey, where you swear? 5 things. Then when you're done, you tell me 5 things when you see, you wish there can be some kind of push to make sure it gets through to maybe all people. Tell us. Is the question clear?
Yes, it's clear. Number 1, the mind is everything. I wish everybody will understand this. The mind, if everybody comes to the understanding that their mind sends a prompt every time they are thinking, and that prompt is what generates the images they see in their lifetime. If everybody can understand that, they will check what they watch on social media. Just yesterday, I made a post. I was scrolling and I saw 2 ladies crying because they are watching a new movie. Everybody is talking about the movie and they are watching and they are crying.
Is it straw?
Yeah, I didn't want to mention
because
it.
straw is what people are watching and crying.
Yes, and they were crying. And I looked at that and my heart started beating. I said, these people do not know. You see, your mind, your higher self, your subconscious doesn't know anything about movie. Doesn't know you are watching a movie and you don't really wish for it. What is happening is that you are sending energy, and what your energy is saying is what the universe will reflect back. So the woman lost her baby and you are crying. 2 years later, you will not remember that you were watching a movie and you sent your energy to it. And there are few people who comment under my comment section and ask, why is it that the good things do not come? It's only the bad thing. You see, what you do not know is that when you are watching something that is bad, you release more energy into it.
Your emotions,
they are more thicker.
They feed on it.
They feed on it. You see, that is the number 1 thing. 2, relationship. I scroll on TikTok and I see people talking about relationship, and the guy has done this, the woman has done this. You see, the truth of the matter is that the reason why both of you came together is to mirror each other. Relationship, I keep saying, it's not for fun or like having sex necessarily, but it is to mirror each other. The very moment you people touch each other, as in having sex, you have bind together. And for that matter, you become a mirror to each other. When you see something in your partner you don't like, it is not your partner. You are only seeing a mirror. Imagine you come back from work and let's say I am your husband. I beg your pardon.
Oh, that's
and then I'm standing in front of the mirror and I'm angry that the mirror will not remove my this thing from here and put it here, what would you say? You will say that this guy, something is wrong with him. Now, so if life is your reflection or a mirror, why would you be fighting a man who is not, listening to you or not coming back home early? Why did you create such a person in your life with your thoughts? So when we come to the understanding of what thoughts generate, what they are, we will understand that, okay, then relationship also is mirroring. Should I still continue?
You are giving us 5 things that scares you.
Right.
That's 2. Number
Right,
2.
right. And then the third thing that scares me is how people do not know that the feeling you are feeling now, the money you are looking for, it is not the money you want. It is the freedom that comes with the money. The freedom to move about, the freedom to travel because you have what you want, you have the money, the freedom to do anything you want. But the people are chasing after the money instead of the currency that pulls the money in, which is what you feel, how you feel. If you feel scarcity, no matter your affirmations or whatever you are doing, your meditation, if your heart is projecting that, if your nervous system is projecting that, that is what is going to reflect back to you. So that is also part of my fears. Now, I continue.
That
the
is
fourth
3.
one. The fourth one. Yeah,
I'm counting.
Right. Because I spend most of my time on social media. When I say I spend most of my time, what I mean to say is that I'm in communication with them because I'm always posting. I'm always listening and then posting. Now, one thing that I look at that scares me is the religious people that come under my comment section and don't know what they are talking about, yet they are making a lot of noise. I remember I was doing TikTok live the other time and somebody was under the comment section. You have to say in the name of Jesus, you have to do a lot of things. And then he said, what I'm saying is fake, it's not true. I said, sir, please, I want to pick you. I want to learn your knowledge. So let me pick you so that you explain to me what you know. I picked this guy on about 800 people watching. This guy doesn't know what to say, yet he was making noise in the comment section. That day, I wept. Do you know why? Because he's not the only one. When I started saying that there is no power in the name, mentioning the name, the Bible didn't say mention. Check the Bible. He says at the name, Jesus, at. It means the essence. He carried the mentality. That is why your mother has prayed. Nothing is happening. Your father has prayed. You two have come. You are doing the same thing. One school fees, you have prayed. One room you want to rent. You have been praying. And I'm showing you that the key is not prayer. It is your breath. When you hold your breath, you stop time. And you can only tamper with the issues of time when you step out of time. So that hurts me when the religious people are not ready to listen.
Number 4. That is last one. Number 5. Obi bisa say there be me say omo ma me 5 things. 5 na dey na ya me ji wo. Am say be a one am be wo.
Right.
So last one.
Right. So the last one is where we have confusion about music. What is music? There is nothing like gospel music. You see? What is the gospel according to Christian religion? The gospel is the resurrection, the love of Christ, and how he died and resurrected for us. Even though there is a problem with that. All
what
right.
problem? What's
okay,
the
I know.
problem?
I know you want us to go
Yeah,
there.
because we want to know.
You see, the truth is that Yeshua didn't come to die. I don't know of the Jesus they are talking about, but the one I know, he came to lead the people back to themselves. Elsia, how do you know that? He says, go. Whosoever shall believe, these signs shall follow them. You shall lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. He was not saying pray to God. He was pointing the people back to himself. The Jesus I'm talking about, the one that I know, when he came, he was always challenging religion. He was challenging. Religion said, don't heal somebody on the Sabbath day. Then Jesus will heal the person. How do you tell me this person came for them? Or he was with them. How do you tell me that? Now, again, we saw where they wanted to arrest him. At a time, they wanted to throw him off the cliff. This is Jesus Christ that later you people turn yourself and say, he died for you. It's a lie. You people killed him because you could not stand what he was doing. Many a times they tried to hold him and he will escape out of their hands. You see that? So that's what I didn't want to touch because I didn't want a lot of religious folks coming at me.
Are you scared of them?
No, I am not. The reason why I don't want them coming at me is that the more they are coming at me, they are tampering with their own self. You see, Ghana has not realized what has touched their land. Ghana does not know what has touched their land. If I can sit on TikTok, not adverts, if I can sit on TikTok and do this and pull somebody's stomach out live and say, I have put in a baby in your stomach, you should know what has touched your land.
Hey, sorry, why?
No, you see, the thing is that when I do those things, I do them to remind them of who they were before they lost their memory. Gone were the days you never needed a car. I never needed a phone to communicate with you. I could just send a message to you. And they do it once in a while. And when it happens, they say, I thought of you, you called me. And they are happy. Like, it's your default. But unfortunately,
you are watching the biggest and the largest. These are the 5 biggest things that scares you. So what are the 5 things when you see, it gives you so much hope for Africa?
When I see the young men who haven't gotten they've not seen it all so far as awakening is concerned, but they are sharing their truth. So when I see it, I repost. Immediately I see it because they are waking up. That is what is giving me joy. And you see, it's amazing to see that they haven't gotten it all. You see, this was the code in the Bible where Jesus said in the book of John, he said, my Father is the husbandman and I am the tree. You people are the branches. Any branch in me that beareth not fruit shall be cut off by my Father. Any branch in me that beareth fruit, my Father purges it. So that it can bear more fruit. So when I see the young people, and when I look at their likes, their followers, maybe 1,000 followers, and they are still pushing, I am happy. It gives me joy.
That is one.
That is one.
You think I'm not counting?
I know, that's okay. Now, the second one that gives me joy is the fact that the collective consciousness is shifting. You see, the earth is not waiting for anybody. And I'm happy you said that you spoke about this 2 years ago. That shows how deep you are. And you see, anytime I decide to be at a place, I should have something doing with the person in previous timelines before. That is why I always want to make sure I've gotten the green light before I move at anything, because I'm not in a rush in life. Everything waits for me when I wait. When I stop, every time stops. You see that? Now, so that is, have I said the second one? And
that's what you're addressing, actually.
Yes. So the earth is ascending. You see, many a times, gone were the days where the earth was in low vibration. You could see that. You could feel it. But right now, it's like, even Ghana, I'm seeing a lot of young people. And most of the people that message me, try to inbox me, they are very, very young. And I'm asking myself, wow, as young as she is, so it means that she's so coming back.
No, now there people are waking.
You
like
get
giddy
it. Yes. So that is my second that gives me happiness. Now the third thing that gives me happiness, I want you to guess what it is.
No, I can't.
You can't guess. Now the third thing that gives me happiness is that right now, even as I'm speaking to you right now, everything is getting ready, set for our galactic families to come to us. You see, these beings, they are older than the earth. I remember I did a post and somebody asked me in the comment section, can you show me a scripture? I said, I am the scripture you seek. What I am is bigger than your Bible and your religion. Because before the Bible, we were there. That was what Jesus was trying to tell them, that before your master, I was. Before him, the one that you respect, I was. You understand that? Now, the earth is shifting. And right now, people are coming to that understanding. I don't know if I've answered. Have I done the third one?
That's the third one.
Okay, so the fourth one.
The realization is what you just said. So the fourth one.
Now, the fourth one is the biggest for me. You notice that right now, all of a sudden, when you are there, especially with this full moon, before the full moon, notice there were a lot of people who were not feeling well. This is because they started having like headaches and small, 3 days to the full moon and stuff. Now, this is because the body, this particular container, is recalibrating with the new energy. You see, the shift that is going on, it's coming with an energy. It's the collective consciousness, whatever they are feeling. Because a lot of people are operating on a high vibration, It is affecting the collective. You get that? And because of that, in a very short time, in a very short while, there's going to be the splits where we are going to say, it has happened already, where you are in the same place, in the same country, people are complaining of drought and difficulty in the country, but you don't see that because what you deal with is beyond the current state you are in.
Like when the earth moves, the old place become extinct. Nothing grows. So if you refuse to move with the faith dimension and you decide to remain here, you become extinct and everything becomes hard for you. Right. So that's what you are saying. So give us the fifth one.
The fifth one is that I have been able to connect with you. I think I heard about you. That was maybe 2 years ago is when I chanced on a video of yours. But then that video, somebody was also here and the person was saying, they are truth. You see, there's nothing like two of us. You see, people have not come to that realization yet. We have two types of truths. We have what we call the absolute truth.
And your truth.
Thank you.
You are watching the biggest and the largest. Now let's drop the conversation down. So right now, looking at this awakening issue and enlightenment issue that we are talking about, people feel that leaving the church to Nananum is the way. So now enlightenment is also having a process, like you have to put some things together to be enlightened. You have to do this and do that to be enlightened. What do you have to say about this?
Now, our forefathers, they were closer to the truth. They were close to the truth. When they started pouring libations to the earth and started speaking to the water, that was truth. But you see, the problem was that instead of them walking with the elements, they started worshiping the elements. And that is where the separation, the illusion of separation came. Where you have to like extend your hand to something outside of you, praying to a God outside of you. That one, I really don't get it. Praying to a God outside of you when the same Bible is telling you greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. So praying to a God outside of you, is that not actually idolatry? Like, idol worshiping? Because if greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world, who are those worshiping the idols now? Who are those worshiping the idols? And I'm not talking about just Christian religion. I'm talking about all the religions that believe that there is a God outside of them that is going to solve the problem. So our forefathers had the truth. But the problem here is that there was a distortion in it. When they saw that, when they were growing up and saw their fathers pouring libations on the ground and then pouring, they didn't ask question, why are you pouring it? Are you pouring it because you believe that without that your life cannot be, or you are pouring it because you know that it has consciousness and you are giving that honor to it? So that is it. So it is not moving from the church to Nananometis. It doesn't make sense. It's like the same thing. You are doing the same thing. You see, you don't need any God outside of you. And if you want to try that, start meditating every morning, 5 minutes. You wake up, don't take your phone. Your phone is part of the distraction. They gave you TV. They realized that now you are too busy. You can't stay home. So let's put the TV in your pocket. And they gave you another TV in your pocket. And so the phone is where the distractions are. Because immediately you wake up early in the morning, you are in the theta states. We have different brain waves. That theta state, you need it to manifest whatever you want, the way life should happen to you in that day. But unfortunately, we take our phone. So if you want to try this right now as you are watching, I don't know if I can watch you. If you want to try this every morning, just take in breath and release it. Do that 7 times and check yourself. If you had a headache, if you had pain anywhere, check it. It's gone. That is the key. Your breath is the junction between the ethers and form. But they lied. They took the teachings of meditation from the teachings of Jesus. When he told them to sit down in group, when he was about to feed them, what do you think they were doing? When he told them, command them to sit in group, they were meditating. But nobody speaks about meditation.
You are watching the biggest and the largest. Time with Maame Grace in the spiritual hour. Private, I told you just last Sunday that what these gods hate is you focusing on yourself. Because when you focus on yourself, they become useless. These people that don't want to go through process to create body to experience this physicality will come and steal your body and turn you into a slave. And this is what we are chasing. Now, we care about everybody. The phone thing you are talking about, if they don't pick the phone to, they will not get through to us. But they should find time for themselves before they should place themselves first before the phones and the rest, because they are all necessary. Now, our people, those who are in these religious sects, those who are worshiping all this whatever, we need all of them, because we cannot punish ourselves to liberate ourselves. So we need all of them on board. So right now, what can we do to help them?
What you are doing, you are helping a lot of them already. And you see, if everybody can wake up to their true reason of coming here, you notice that everybody have their group they are here for. Yeshua said that he had a group of people he came to enlighten. That is the same as you and I. You said something earlier on. The people who are supposed to follow you can never be glued to me if they are not my people. And your people can never, because there is a connection that is interdimensional. It's beyond this earth. It's beyond time. It's timeless. You see? So these people that are connected to us, the more we speak our truth, the more they come, because they are tired already. They have been giving offerings. They have been going to church. They have been doing everything. Nothing is happening. They are tired and they need truth. And that is what you are doing.
You are watching the biggest. So right now, we are helping them somehow. Now, let me ask you this very question. When you look at the people call the gays, the lesbians, this one has bipolar, people who behave a little bit strange than the usual frequency organized or arranged for this 3D world. When you see them, what do you think?
Okay.
Is the question clear?
Yeah, very clear. I know what you are asking me. It's a distortion in their DNA. You see, way before the watchers came on earth that the Bible spoke about, the watchers the Bible spoke about, human beings had a particular way of living. Like I was saying, there were beings who were already here on earth who could telepathically send messages to you and then not needing a phone. But the problem here is that after a little while, everything changed. I've lost the question.
Don't lose it.
Yeah, I've lost
I'm
it, but I'll pick it
asking
up.
your take on gayism and homosexualism.
Yes,
and
yes.
Let's say maybe people with a little bit of a lower syndrome and the rest.
It's DNA distortion, and these things happen in several ways. One of them is masturbation. Yes.
Explain.
Right. So you see, sex is a spirit act. It has nothing to do with the physical. The pleasure we feel, what we feel here, is an end result, end product of what sex actually stands for. Now, so sex is for recreation of other spirits. So when you check the scripts in Genesis, you notice that the Bible said, God said, let us create a man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, blah, blah, blah. Now, when you come to the 2:7, he says, and God formed the man out of the dust of the ground. So there was a creation and there was a formation. Now, the creation comes when you bind together in sex. And many people do not know that. You see, because sex is not a physical act, but a spirit act, it is between two or more beings, because it is for binding and creation. Now, when you are touching yourself in the room, the reason why these big industries, they pump a lot of money into pornography and all the other stuff, is so that you can be touching yourself more. You see, when you are touching yourself, and you are feeling what two people are supposed to be feeling, remember that there is
Somebody
another
is feeling
person.
somebody.
There is another person involved that you do not know. And you see, most of these beings, they are deformed. So they are sleeping with you, you are touching yourself, you are binding, and you create a spirit which will wait for the day you'll be pregnant physically. Then they enter. So this is what happens. Most of the times, when you get pregnant and you finally give birth at the hospital, the spirits do not want to enter the baby. That is why the doctors pinch the children or hit them to call the spirits in. Now, you'll be there and then your child is growing and your child says, I am a woman, that I don't feel like a woman in the body. I'm not saying all of them, but what I have seen so far, most of them, it is because the mother was stuck in masturbation or the father was stuck, and they have done that for 20 years. Some have done even 30 years masturbation. So that, and also even sometimes, not all the time, sometimes there's children that we call special children. It's not special. There is a problem. The problem here is that they have been tempered with. That is why they can be there and then start misbehaving. They are not misbehaving because they want to be like that. If you believe that there is a God that is creating human beings, why would a God create a kind of a human being like that? There is a problem. The problem here is that they've shifted your attention to what you have to pay attention to. That is spirituality.
Someone has created with you. You don't know how the person looks like.
Yeah.
You've given birth to whatever created with you, and you are complaining.
Yes.
Hey, so you have established a spirit in your life already.
Yes.
And wako wari ukuna to so deji avoy avo. You are watching The Biggest. I think I should bring him on this particular statement live so that you people can phone in and ask him questions, because I think this is too huge.
Right. I would love
to just digest it like in 1 minute. So I wish I could put that one aside so we do live episode, then we phone in and you can ask him your personal questions. What's your take? That's my mind. But the power is with you people. So far, how do you feel we should look at those who masturbate? Hey, the other day we had a pastor here who said those who masturbate, when they get to heaven, your thing grow and they slice it like sausage. When they finish, it grows back, they slice it. Shoo. Okay, and nanka bidi burger, na me kompo ya do burger. But so these people, what can we do for them? How do we see them? If a parent is having a child like that who is masturbating, and obi baby say almost you masturbate, ya obakwa edwa no chebi bra checking out.
Right.
So under your house on Kwalia Oboa. I'll shut them non die. No, I check them out. This is why I brought doors. There are no keys in it. But we see doors no pen, no keys, you cry. We don't see. Anyway, so the people like that, how do we see them? Because I know people who feel that having same sex makes them feel powerful. And if you are well endowed, you know that sex is just exchange of power. So when they say this, you can't actually doubt them. Enlightenment is getting to a level where people are having so many knowledge to justify what they do. Now, today, dear, like I said, I will let you come and address this issue alone, live, so that people can ask questions, because we so be a bisana dream than said yeah, maybe some dream until you will come back. So right now, imagine if the president of Ghana, John Mahama, has given you a platform to talk to Ghanaians about enlightenment, from the president himself to parliamentarians to the truck pusher in this country. Now you have a podium to talk to everybody about enlightenment, awakening, and religion. What will you say? Look into the camera and tell them.
Right. Thank you.
Those are your last words.
Right. Those are my last words. Right. So this is what I have to say. Awakening is not coming. It is here. What is awakening? It's simply remembering who you were before you lost your memory. You see, when you remember who you are, you stop reacting to your reflection. It's actually what will let you sit on your throne. You see, Jesus spoke about a kingdom that you have to seek. The Christians thought he was talking about going to church. But to seek doesn't mean go to church, because church, we don't have to seek for church. To seek for something means the thing is hidden and you need to seek for it. He says, seek ye first the kingdom and its righteousness and all other things shall be added. Now, when you stop reacting, then you are awakening. Because many of you, you have been reacting to your reflections. Everything that is happening around you, check around you. Everything is your reflection. You can imagine you come and I'm insulting the mirror for not changing the way I'm looking, when I have to just change the way I'm looking in the mirror. You get it? Now, so awakening is not coming. It is here. People are coming to the truth about the fact that their minds are the ones creating their reality. And so I talk to you today. My name is the Elsia. I returned so that you remember who you are. Today, if you can stop reacting to your reflections, somebody does something to you, you don't like it, don't respond. Just take in breath and leave. It won't happen again. My name is the Elsia.
Abusia, ena meka no, Elsia wakana adwene pa. Me see that word no you see any day. Emfa in bra life. Now, but let me ask you this. If a pastor should come and sit with you to have a conversation, would you do it?
Oh, why not? So far as it will be kept respectful.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I will look for a pastor who is well endowed, that will understand what is called conversation. We sit and dialogue about one thing that, so if we want to understand things, we should be able to, have a conversation between ourselves to understand it. It's rather unfortunate that some of them, their understanding is a bit different. But we have some of them who are, up there, they know what they are doing, but they will still would have to have a conversation with us. So now you have live, they will vote live for you to come, and the topic is already been picked.
Right.
And then you have a conversation, and also say you sit with a pastor, and then we dialogue about this awakening and everything that you said here. So that one sits there. He said that so be our there, he's coming. He's on Revelations today. He will come the second one, and then third one, boom, he will be everywhere.
Can I explain that?
May I explain?
I did, because I feel like you've picked it in.
No. I've not picked it. I'm just telling you something you will need in future. So you listen rather.
Yeah, I mean to say that I believe that we both need the positive and the negative
exactly
side. We need it. But you see, when you know that you are the one that created the reality, you find your way out of it. You don't react to it.
So just listen to this and put it in your pocket.
Right.
You have all the people, but the day this video will touch out, you will understand what Maame Grace said.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Right.
Then you see, when you are driving Camry and there are car snatchers, different people will come for it. When you are driving Range Rover, it's different people that will come for it.
Of course.
So when you get to your G360 and the rest, that one too, so you are getting there.
Right.
So you will understand what I'm saying.
Right.
Abusia, I think I love him. Like I said it earlier, and he's the very first person Waba platform is so me money hug and sana kasa. It has never happened before. My workers are here.
Wow.
I am style B, but it's not a bad style though. I'm just careful about. And I think I personally love him. When Anasasi came, I told you guys I love him. He's my son. I have my reason for loving some people. I hate nobody though. If you hate me, I hate you. That one day cause and effect.
Right.
But I have people I personally love. I click with them. I think I love him. Na ne messaging so eno de abano. Niama tu na me pese ombeye. Osi obeba beye. Nti we pastor we well endowed. We well behaved. Now what knowledge no now be my idea nkomo. Let's have a conversation. Move voting in life. Number chire special children, no sex, no the way it happen, ya keke ka ho ni nyina. No for relationship issues no so oka ye no. On fan kan wo say wo kofa obi na ne wo ho no ma or ye wo reflection. Mo mirror mo together. Enti no nya say we aye say na wo kasa, you would have to mirror him. No so mirror. No be explaining no better. So you can ask your personal questions. Ubetro amano na where you are no. So vote him. I vote him. You too. You can vote him. Then we bring him live. Elsia, thank you so much for coming to Revelations. I'm having fun. Why do you have so many coppers and crystals? I think that's why I love you.
I know you're going to ask that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Right? It's amazing. So when you see the coppers on my hand, These are powerful electric conductors. Before we lost our memory, we had these as chains on us. All right? Because these, they are quick to allow the flow of energy through our system. So the gods who shifted form, this was how they were dressing. And many people, we are going back and have taken the lead. All right?
Awesome, beautiful. Thank you so much for coming. Like
It's
I said,
an
I
honor.
appreciate you. We are always the biggest. So I guess for you, all the platforms can call him
Right.
and interview him, make him bigger, more making sure the message, I reach it to a point where it's supposed to reach. I mean, so make me pushing me there. Everybody is welcome. If you are watching me anywhere and you have a message, you are welcome, free of charge. We love everybody. I ain't discriminate. It's a way. No, I love everybody. That makes me a mother. Thank you so much for watching The Greatest. I'm always the greatest G. Shalom. Peace.